Welcome everybody to another video of Vinyl Addict. This is Chili, and my pick for vinyl of the day is Rush, Clockwork Angels. Now, before I get into this, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment on this video, share this video, and if you still haven't, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for updates. Yes, so this is my vinyl pick for the day. Finished listening to this. This was their last album that came out in 2013. And I believe they went out on a high note with this album. The prior album, it had some great moments, Snakes and Arrows. I went to the tour, I got the shirt and everything like that, but it just didn't grab me from beginning to end. And this album, it's sort of like they wrapped up their whole career and put it in this album, if it's possible, okay, because they're kind of going back to some proggy, kind of things, like just reminiscent to Bytorn the Snow Dog, even from their second album. However, I mean, the whole concept thing is the whole album, other than like albums like 2112 or Hemispheres or even like Caress of Steel, will they have like some concepts here, or one whole side of Hemispheres and one whole side of 2112. This actually tells a story, and Neil pretty much wrote a book that accompanies this, and the music and it's sort of them doing that kind of music now, all that kind of crazy proggy stuff that they would do in the past. It's like it's sort of just hearing modern day Rush or 2013 Rush doing that, because we haven't really heard them play those kind of compositions. When they started doing songs like The Pass or Bravado, and they started making songs and whatnot, and which is cool, just a collection of songs. But then with this one, they kind of went back and they just went full circle on here and just said bam. I mean, some of these songs can't stand on its own as just songs, of course, but then there's those ones on here that are just insane. So you do have Brought Up to Believe and Caravan, which were songs that were out before the album. They've never done that before. I remember when those two songs came out, and they had like Record Store Day, 3,000 copies of that single and whatnot, and then they put out an album later on with including those two, and there's a Brought Up to Believe Part 2, side 4 on here. But every song on here, Caravan, Brought Up to Believe, Clockwork, Angels, The Anarchists, Carney's Halo Effect. I mean, it's from beginning to end. It was probably it ranked really high for me. If I was to rank all their albums, this would be pretty much in their top 10, no doubt. Out of the 19, it was pretty up there. Whereas Snakes and Arrows would be pretty down the pipe. And let's look at this thing. This is 200 grams platter. In Rush, a lot of their albums are always 200. They have like these really cool, same side. And you have lyrics, of course. And this was on Roadrunner, which they mainly deal with. Most of their people on their roster are metal or heavy rock. So, and this is a very heavy Rush album. Suffice to say, it is. It's and I didn't get to see this tour, which was unfortunate. Of course, they played the whole thing and whatnot, and there was no way anyone could come in and play these kind of songs that Neil has put out there for us. I mean, I watched that whole Taylor Hawkins Rush performance there, and they actually called them, introduced them as Rush. And it doesn't matter who the drummer is sitting down there, how accomplished they are. There were just certain things that Neil does on his songs that, if unless they're not there, it just, especially for the fans who've heard these songs over and over again and know every fill and every little chime or every little, any little thing that he does, where they was hitting that hi hat and you know when I remember watching it, it's all I could say. It's sort of like it's some people will have it almost there, but not quite. I mean, I think Danny Carey was probably the only one close. Um, it's sort of just looking at a picture that's on the wall and it's kind of crooked, and you want to just kind of straighten it out. And it's just like I could hear things. I'm just like, no. It's just like, haven't you heard all these songs? Don't you know how to hit it? How to do that fill? And so, no disrespect to Carey, because he's great with Tool. But you know what? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't think anyone can just come in and sit and do these songs that Rush do live, and especially something like this, if they're playing the whole top. This is Neil's vision. This is Neil's world right here. He wrote that novel that accompanied this, so to have someone else come in there and sit and do it, it wouldn't do it for me. But that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, leave me a comment. What are your thoughts on this album? Did they leave on a high note with this album, or do you think they still had unfinished business? I don't think they had another album in them, to be quite honest, because even they had that movie regarding the 40th anniversary tour, and Neil was just barely getting through it, because he felt like playing this material, takes a certain kind of not only physicality and health wise, but mind, body, and soul. You got to be locked in on this kind of stuff, and even he knows he can't do it anymore. So if he can't do it, no one can. But that's just my opinion. And with that, I'll shut up and I'll see you guys in the next one.